Hello and welcome to Steve Taylor's High School Stars of the Week. I'm Nick Marcone here with Steve Taylor, Tom Cole, and Terry Crosby. And we've got two outstanding football players. We got a quarterback and a running back, and two amazing volleyball players. Stay tuned for all the action.
Hey everybody, welcome back to a special edition of Steve Taylor's High School Stars of the Week. I'm Steve Taylor here with Tom Cole and Terry Crosby. Thank you, Nick, for another fantastic introduction. You know, Nick is not in the picture here because of social distancing.
Right.
We didn't have room for everybody.
Right.
We still got him in the show.
Yep.
He gets to kick things off every week, but then, you know, the little guy just takes off. Usually we had some fun, you know, back and forth, bantering back and forth. We miss having him in the show.
I heard, boss, he's looking for a pay increase on this. I don't know.
I don't know what the heck he's got to work to get a pay increase. He's not even here anymore. What in the world? Hey, all right, we're going to kick things off with a fantastic running back out of St. John's Jesuit High School. Had a big game Friday against Fremont Ross. Tom, you know this guy too.
Yeah, you.
Yep.
Well, he's in your broadcast class at St. John's, Steve Taylor broadcast class that I'm fortunate to teach. Carson Toth. He's in the one-back position, Terry, with the, they spread with the quarterback, and he's the one-back. Last week, guys, he rushed 29 carries, 261 yards, and 2 TDs. Wow. And I think I was telling you, Steve and Terry, that I thought was maybe the most yardage ever in the history of SJJ from a running back. And I talked to Coach Pearson today, right before your Steve Taylor class, and he said no. He said it's the third most. He had a fellow that rushed for 329 and somebody that got 290. So it's the third most in the history of the school. He's a terrific young man. He does great in your matter of fact, he's got a broadcast show tomorrow with the Steve Taylor broadcast crew. So Carson's a great young man.
What an individual effort too. I mean, that's it was a tight game. I was listening to it on the radio, and they had to come from behind to win
They had to score their last 4 possessions. SJ had to score touchdowns to win. Terry, 4 out of 4 drives to win the game.
You know, St. John's is known for its passing game, but you look at last week. Obviously, they have a well-balanced offense, and this young man is a beast, honest to God. 29 carries, that is a lot.
They're calling you. They're calling you. ESPN has been recruiting Terry for a while. We're trying to keep him here in the Taylor studios, but he's getting looks from everybody.
Well,
our phones are ringing. Our phones are ringing. ESPN doesn't want Tom around.
I pay people to call me when I'm around you, Steve, so that you're thinking that, hey, Tom's still got some friends.
They're going big time. What is that? NFL prime time?
No.
You know what though?
Hey, I'm not Deion Sanders.
You know what though, boss? You and Terry will really appreciate this. I was interviewing Carson at St. John's during the Steve Taylor broadcast scenario, and the first thing he said, I said about the rushing, 261, 29 carries. The first thing out of his mouth was, and it was sincere, hey, the guys up front did it. All I did was did my job, but they created the holes for me to run through, and that was pretty cool.
Sure. Well, we said last week, remember, your running back is just as good as your offensive line.
Right.
And I always give my offensive line credit because
and you always have. That's true.
Without them, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, it does not happen.
Hey, well, we're sticking with the same game, but we're going across the field. We're going to Fremont Ross. And they had another fantastic performance on Friday. Saturday night.
They did. It was Saturday night, Steve, and Terry knows this. We had chatted about it off air. Sophomore quarterback. Usually a sophomore quarterback, you're playing JV games, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're quarterbacking the JVs. That's what you do. A guy named Caden Holmes, and all he did in the game against SJ is he ran for 2 touchdowns. He threw for 4 touchdowns. Wow. He was responsible for 6 touchdowns in that ball game. Only a sophomore. People say he's as electric a performer at the quarterback position as you'll see in high school football. So you got a lot more years of Caden Holmes.
And Caden's going to go far. When you look at it, he's only a sophomore. And so he's playing with composure. He's not frightened of the juniors, the seniors, the upperclassmen. He's like, I have ability too, and I'm going to show you what I can do.
Yeah, absolutely.
So great job, Caden.
You know why, Steve, you and Terry are athletes, why it's so interesting to me today. When I was a sophomore, I was quarterbacking a JV team. I had nothing to do with the varsity, and why are young people today so acclimated to it's no big deal? I mean, they can play as true freshmen on the varsity. I don't get what that is. Why are they so much more advanced today? That part doesn't bother them. I don't understand why that is.
I think really, and for my thing, when you are talented and you know you're talented, that increases a level of confidence.
Yeah.
So they will compete against. anybody they face.
Don't you think too, maybe the year-round?
Yeah, it is,
Yes.
Steve.
When we all played
It
sports,
changes.
we did 3-4
Yeah.
different sports throughout the year. Now they're focusing,
That-
they're keying in on, individual
Yes,
sports,
yes.
and that helps to prepare them
Yes.
for those, varsity level spots at freshmen
Yes.
and sophomores.
That's a great point. You get so many reps.
Yep.
And once you get enough reps, you feel pretty good about what you're doing, right?
Sure.
For sure. Well, I have a feeling we're gonna see this young man
Yeah.
throughout the next few years on this show a couple more times.
Oh,
No
he's
question.
electrifying.
Yep,
He is
awesome,
electrifying.
awesome.
Great job,
Hey,
Ken.
we're moving over though. We're gonna hit volleyball, and
Yep.
we've got some fantastic volleyball players in Northwest Ohio. We're going to Anthony Wayne High School. We've got Morgan Lee, and tell us a little bit about this story too.
Yeah, Anthony Wayne, it's interesting to me, Steve and Cross, so much of the population is moving out into the White House, Waterville area. And therefore, the numbers at Anthony Wayne are growing. If you go on campus, I used to be on campus at Anthony Wayne 15 years ago doing games. And what it is, the metamorphosis of what it is today, it's a small college campus with the stadium, with the gym, and the numbers they have. So they're good. The numbers make you good in most sports. They're picked to win volleyball in the NLL. And this young lady, Morgan Lee, she's going to break the all-time assist record in the history of Anthony Wayne. So when you get somebody breaking an all-time school record, Cross, you
Yes.
you own a bunch of them.
Right.
When you break an all-time record, that is saying something. So Morgan's a terrific volleyball.
And it proves throughout the years her consistency.
Yes.
Year after year after year, she's produced, top performing games. And so that's absolutely fantastic. Way to go, Morgan.
Great job. And like we said, Toledo, and outside areas, we're known for some of these
Yes.
fantastic volleyball players that we
Yep.
produce. Here's another one, right?
Yes.
Sticking in volleyball, we're going over to Northview High School. We've got Claire Kwiatkowski,
Yep.
another fantastic volleyball player, and making a big name for herself too over at Northview.
Steve, it's interesting to me that volleyball, the transformation of volleyball, I would say over the last 7 years in Northwest Ohio, from a sport that maybe the people who were parents and grandparents, they went to the games, they were involved. Volleyball today has become, it's an athletic contest. The gals are incredible athletes. They're remarkably competitive. Now you go into an arena for a big volleyball game, NLL or track, the gym's packed.
Yep.
It's like a men's big-time basketball game.
Yes.
So the athleticism of these ladies and the coaching has elevated this sport. Claire's a wonderful player on the team. She's a leader on the volleyball court and in her school, so she's done a great job.
And the transformation of the game of volleyball is just going.
It's athletic.
Yes.
T, it's athletic.
Yes.
I mean,
it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Compared to what it used to be,
Yeah.
back in our day, to what it is now, there's a complete difference.
Yep.
It's quite a game. My daughter,
Yes.
my youngest daughter, is playing now 4th grade. She started last year, and
Yeah.
it's unbelievable just to
Right.
see the difference between 3rd and 4th grade.
Mhm.
No
but
question.
how competitive some of these girls are,
Yes.
and they've got to be good at that young age
Yeah.
if they
Yes.
want to play in high school level in Toledo.
There's no
Correct.
question about it.
Good point.
stuff.
Good point.
Hey, well, thanks for tuning in to another fun edition of Steve Taylor's High School Stars of the Week. We will keep you posted and let you know how that phone call with Stephen A. Smith went with Terry Crosby. Hope to keep him here, but we'll see. As always,
Excuse me, I'm going nowhere.
big shout out to Marco's Pizza, as always, for helping sponsor the show and giving those free large pies from TC to all the student athletes. And hey, if you know somebody that you'd like to see recognized on the show, reach out to one of us. We'd love to highlight a special somebody that you know. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next week.